Welcome back to the World with Randall Williams. Today we are diving into the world of music, but before we jump in, I hope you and your family had a fabulous holiday weekend. Excuse my eyes, as you can see, they're a little dry from allergies from where my family is. I normally travel back there, and then, you know, I got a bad allergy, so it always hits my eyes for some strange reason. But as I record, it'll go away. I'll fix my face. But today we are diving into the world of music, specifically hip hop, with Kendrick Lamar's first week album sales in. GNX sold 319,000 album units in its first week. It is atop the Billboard 200 chart with his fifth number one album, I believe. I don't know if we count Black Panther, but Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Mr. Morale, and now GNX, all number one. It is his third highest selling album, I believe. Damn did 603, I think it is 603, 605, somewhere around that. To Pimp a Butterfly, To Pimp a Butterfly, 324K, GNX 319. I believe Mr. Morale did 295, and Good Kid, Mad City, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but obviously this number is massive. It's the highest selling rap album of the year thus far in terms of first week sales. The only album that I believe is higher is Travis Scott's Days Before Rodeo, which isn't a new release, it's a re-release. And he had physicals with that, with 150,000 vinyl units. And as you know, Kendrick did not release any physicals. There were no CDs, no vinyls, no cassettes or anything like that. So this number is pretty much all streams. And that's crazy. I think that it'd be interesting to see what he would have done had this may have had a bit of a rollout. Because if you're looking at the rest of the year, I have this on a nice piece of paper here. Tyler, the Creator, with Chronocopia did 299. Eminem did 281. Future with We Don't Trust You did 251. 21 Savage with American Dream did 133. And these are all 1,000. Future with We Still Don't Trust You did 129 or 125, one of the two. J. Cole, Might Delete Later, which was 115. Gunna did 91. Glorilla 69. Meg the Stallion 64. And the number that strikes me with this in particular is J. Cole's Might Delete Later, because J. Cole didn't really have an album rollout with Might Delete Later. There were a couple snippets that he had posted on, I think it was the Might Delete Later Instagram page at the time, from, I think it was 3001 and another song on Might Delete Later. But it was a complete surprise release. And, I think that that's a good comparison, but also probably not a good one, just because pre-beef, the great rap war between Drake, Cole, Kendrick, and so many others, Future, Rick Ross, Weeknd, Rocky, whoever else Metro Boomin, whoever else you want to throw in there. But I think it's interesting because J. Cole is obviously part of the big three. I think there's no way you can kick him out. But with that in mind, both of these were surprise releases. I think that the GNX album just dropped so randomly. I have Kendrick's notifications on for that specific reason, because he is the type of artist to just drop a link and then you have to go get it. You go get it and see what it is. And with this particular rollout, he put a snippet that wasn't on the album on Instagram and YouTube, I believe, and then he tweeted the album link out. So I think it was on Friday at 12 or around noon. And so he kind of lost 12 hours there too, not even including the anticipation that would have come with the rollout. And so with that in mind, I think that GNX had, if I'm losing the Broccoli song, Jeremy Hectus in my head, and I have it calling Broccoli. 1 second. Had Squabble Up came out as the first single, and I mean there's a number of singles that could have been next, similar to how the Damn rollout was. If you all remember that, the Heart Part 4 came first, and then it was Humble, and then the album came 2 weeks later, I think it was. I think Humble debuted at number 2 and then eventually got number 1. But if Squabble Up came out first, and I think it is going to debut at number 1. I think it would have done that anyways, but um, the anticipation would have been an all-time high. I think Luther would have been a worthy second single. Hey Now, obviously TV Off is going nuts. There's a couple songs on there that I think could be worthy of a number 1 slot if it wasn't released in the holiday season. Like, I think that after this week, Mariah Carey and all of the rest of the Christmas songs will probably reclaim their top spot amongst the Billboard top 100 hit list. So I think if this had been released, you know, if he started rolling this out at the top of November and then it released on Black Friday, then I think that, you know, things may have been a little different. It would have been maybe a 450, 500,000 unit, 450 to 500,000 album sales in the first week. But this kind of makes me wonder what's next. If I don't know if you all follow DJ Head and Absol, but they were on Instagram Live earlier this week saying that the homie ain't done, and basically saying Kendrick could have more music coming. And this is a cycle with Kendrick. Like, this is not new. When Damn released, there was a whole theory that another album, Nation, was going to release. He eventually actually put out a statement and said, like, this is the album. There's no other new music coming. He goes on to do the world tour. The championship tour comes after, Black Panther album, and so on and so on. But it makes me think, what is coming next from Kendrick? This album is definitely different than anything he has ever released. Like, it doesn't really feel like it has a theme besides, like, here's some hits. And I think there's some typical Kendrick tracks in terms of like the introspection, and I kind of get into that in my last video about the Heart Part 6. He has the love songs on there with Luther. He has Gloria. There's a couple other songs too. He has a vibe in Dodger Blue, but there isn't anything connecting these things together, similar to how Good Kid, Mad City is, and To Pimp a Butterfly is, or even Damn, and even Mr. Morale. So I wonder, how quickly was this pieced together? I wonder what does come next. I think that and I said this in my last video, but one of the things I was shocked at is that this came before the Super Bowl release. Kendrick is going to have, I would guess, between 110 and 115 million people watching him on February 9th at the Super Bowl. It feels like the perfect time to drop an album, or maybe it's announce a tour. One of the two. If there's a deluxe, if it's a new album, I don't know. But you can't go on Super Bowl Sunday and not do anything. I feel like that would be a business mistake. But I'm not Top Dog. I'm not Punch. I'm not Dave Free. I'm not Kendrick. So they, like I've said, they move on their own calculus. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do for Super Bowl Sunday, but I know that they're going to do something. Or I think that they're going to do something. It's too big of an opportunity to not do anything. But GNX sells 319,000 in its first week. I think that is tremendous, considering all the hype that was surrounding it, or all the hype that was surrounding Kendrick not having an album out this year. This feels like one of the biggest years for a rapper ever with GNX. It'd be interesting to see what comes next. But that's all I got. This is a quick, short video to get back in the flow of things after the holiday. I know that I didn't have anything breaking down the Drake lawsuits over Not Like Us at UMG, but I'm sure more details will come soon, and looking forward to talking to you all next time. So you all be easy.